those are headphones. I'm not sure
So
if
you just put them over your head, onto your ears. Like
I don't
this.
need them actually because I can hear you guys just fine.
This has legs on it. You slide it over to you.
Thank you.
Put that big black
Are you
thing in your
recording
face. Yeah, we're always recording.
That's the first time I heard that.
You're
It's
not
gonna be
using,
a fun one.
You're really not using headphones.
I'll use it.
God,
Come on.
is it? It's because
He
of your
just got his
hair?
haircut.
No, it's
Is it because of your hair?
It's because I'm trying to change the image of podcasting.
What is the image of podcasting?
We are replacing television. Did you not know that?
It's basically television, but streaming.
Right. And so,
Except we have no video here at Twangtown.
so here's what you do.
We're low budget, Neil.
Why do you have a briefcase with you?
Because I was going to do some work if you weren't ready for me. This is the future of podcasting right here. Okay. These are the,
Looks like someone already opened it for you.
yeah. Well,
Wow. Jenna would be so mad at the way you opened that. Oh, in-ears.
monitor things
Yeah,
that go
in-ears.
there. So, yeah.
Well, you want to plug those in? We could probably find a
I'll put the cans
a
on.
jack.
I'll put the cans on.
I don't like these any more than you do. My ears sweat.
I know.
I hate these in the studio. I actually hate anything on my ears, in my ears.
Just to recap, you were giving me shit about not wearing them. Now you're saying
Yeah.
you don't like to wear them.
My voice sounds so good in them.
I always put them on backwards.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm
did it
hearing
right.
my left side or right side?
I don't know.
I think you had it right the other way.
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah.
God,
The cord should be on the
you're
left.
so jumpy. You have a lot of energy now that
I know.
you're
heard that.
semi-retired.
I've heard that. It's like now my ADHD is very, very prevalent. Before it was muted down by a lack of sleep, but now it's very, very out there.
What time did you start in the mornings?
I woke up at 1:30 every morning.
Are
That
you
is so
shitting
dumb.
me?
I'm not shitting you. 1:30 in the morning was my first alarm, and I was usually up 10 minutes before then. And
What
then
time
I
did you
jump
go
up
to bed at 5 in the afternoon?
most of the time, 6, 7.
Wow.
But if I did stay out late for something, I would I'd take a nap. Or I'd take a little something before the
something always helps.
Oh,
It's
something,
fine. On it's fine.
I always hated the fact that the mornings I was sober, people accused me of being drunk, and the mornings I was actually drunk, people thought I was doing the best stuff of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, Breezy told us all about that.
Oh, Breezy.
Yeah.
She's a liar. When she's a paid liar. She does the weather, okay? Do you understand that it comes with lying?
Well, you should know about
It's the
that,
only
right?
job. It's the only job where you can be wrong and not get fired.
You
It's
can
like
be wrong
scientists.
100% of the time and still have your job.
I want to be the scientist.
I've had a few attorneys that go in that category too.
I want to be the scientist guy who just dates the world and everything in it.
Yeah.
Because it's like the world is 35 million years old. No, it's not. It's 4 billion years old. You can't prove that either way.
No.
It's horse shit. Cockroaches have been around for 350 million years. How do you know that?
Sure.
Are there cave drawings of
Have you
cockroaches?
seen my house?
Man, I tell you what.
I want to get comfortable like you
Get
are.
comfortable. Sit back.
Yes,
pull that back
please.
to you. Yeah, pull it on back. Get that big black thing in your face.
There you go.
There you go. Wow.
Is that better?
Like a true champion.
I haven't seen you in the gym lately. Where you been?
I've been training.
Training.
I've been training. I got that freaking triathlon.
Oh.
Yes, in Galveston. Beautiful Galveston.
Allison's in Galveston
Galveston.
somehow lost her sanity. And Dimples, who now lives in Temples, got the law looking. Why'd I go Joe Diffie?
Oh, I thought you were doing John Anderson.
John Anderson. Welcome to Twangtown. I am David Tolliver.
And I am Colt Mursky.
Oh, Brewski.
And today we have with us Neil Orne.
Dude, we went to Tahiti last week.
You went to Tahiti last week?
Yeah, Jenna took me to Tahiti.
Is that a restaurant in town?
Yeah. It's the massage place. Yeah. They give you the Polynesian ending.
Yeah.
Where
Happy Polynesian.
They put you over a spit and stick an apple in your mouth.
Honey, why is there no front
Rub
door?
you down with oil. No, we went to Morea.
How come everyone knows you by your first name? I mean, everyone, honey.
Oh,
everyone
David.
in Polynesian knows you.
David, you've been here too long. You go home.
Hey, both hands. I've always said we need a little massage person to massage our calves while we're doing this. When I'm writing a song, I need. I don't want to say Asian woman because that's very stereotypical, and I might get canceled for that. But I need somebody to rub my calves.
Well,
Could be an Asian man, or Hispanic person, or white.
If you could find someone, I might start writing songs.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that all you need? Is that the thing that's going to send you over the edge to write
It
songs?
sounded good when I said it. Like team's talking about. Look at his calves.
I got great calves now. I got real fat a few years ago, and it made my calves bulk up. And then I lost the weight, so it looks like I have good legs now.
Yeah.
That's how you train legs.
That's amazing.
It's true.
That's like a book right there.
Dude, we were because we went to Moria, which is an island off Tahiti. It's gorgeous. You haven't been, you need to go. It's about third the price of Bora Bora, but it's the same place. And I was looking at pictures of a couple years ago when we went to Bali and went snorkeling. Now, my big whale ass was floating on top of the water with my belly just hanging down, looking all out of shape. Like,
when the tourists started taking
Yeah.
pictures of you going, honey, I think it's a great white. I don't know. I mean, it's some white.
The humpbacks were coming by, whoa, whoa, and I was just answering back.
I'm the only one who got mated by a humpback.
It was tragic, but interesting.
Like we went with a friend of ours, and he's a portly fella, and I was looking exactly the same way as he did in the waters. But this year, I looked better.
Good.
You dropped 40 pounds.
You're working hard.
Thank you.
I see you at the Y every day.
do.
I know
You do.
exactly where you park at the Y. So the first thing I do when I get there is I look in that far corner on the right and see if your little car's over there. And I was like, Tolliver's here.
Dude, I park. Do you ever watch the people? Do you watch these fucking idiots drive around this parking lot to look for the closest place to go in the gym?
The gym.
I park as far as I can get out in the parking lot,
And that's the
away
truth.
from people.
That's the true thing.
Get those extra steps in.
Dude, I watched a woman park out by me, which is not far. You just have to walk a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
She parked out there, sat there for I'm on the treadmill watching this whole thing. She went to 2 more spots.
Oh, no.
And then finally chose one way over to the left that was farther when she was where she was. But they will drive. I watched one dude drive his little Porsche around for 20 minutes looking for a parking space and passed up a bunch of good ones just so he could park on the front
But
row.
it's the parking skills that you see there. The people that can't pull into a space without going 6 or 7 times in.
It's Austin Powers.
It's amazing. And they put speed bumps in yesterday. Did you? Like, why are you putting speed bumps? These people don't know what they're doing in the first place, and now you're doing this?
I went this morning, got so mad. I wanted to get a shovel and start tearing it up.
Right.
There's 800 speed bumps in the Brentwood YMCA parking lot now.
Is this the one on Concord or a different one?
Yeah. I was
It's the
there.
only one we can go to now.
Well, I was there at 4:00 yesterday, and it was like a teen rec center combined with Heaven's Waiting Room. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, and you couldn't get on a machine.
No.
You couldn't get on a treadmill.
At 4 in
you
the
couldn't get in
afternoon.
the pool. So I had a two and a half hour swim to do and a treadmill to do, and I couldn't do either of them there.
It's ridiculous.
2.5 hours swim?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for a triathlon.
Yeah. I don't know if he's mentioned this twice
What do you do?
now.
Just like freestyle for 2.5 hours?
Did I mention that triathlon?
Neil's getting in the water.
I feel like I heard it in my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing an Ironman down in Galveston.
So just
I
like,
mentioned that. I remember I said
Allison's in Galveston.
I'm sorry. It
There's
comes
no
up.
ADD.
It comes up a lot right now because it literally consumes your life. It's
okay.
I'm doing this.
It's all right. It's fine.
You're like a vegan.
I forgive you.
You're like a vegan.
A vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You
talking
can't
about
stop
what you're
talking
doing.
about being a vegan.
Yeah.
Can I show you the piece of steak I had last night? It was such a big piece of steak.
Is this
took
a metaphor?
Picture of
You
it.
have a big old piece of meat.
And a big old piece of meat
Big
last night.
chunk of slab of meat.
It was so good.
So hot.
Did you make it yourself?
Oh no, but I do have a picture of my bike I'm using for the triathlon in Galveston. All right, I'll shut up.
Oh shit, man. Where are you from? Where were you born originally?
Born?
Where was you born?
I was birthed in Albany, New York.
Albany?
Albany, New York.
Capital of New
The
York.
capital of New York. Yep.
I was up
I
there.
remember it fondly. I came out screaming, and my mom was screaming, and the doctor hit me. I remember that. It was yesterday.
I was there last couple weeks ago, actually.
In Albany?
Yeah, I went on. Well, we were in Rochester.
Yeah.
I went up and met flew up to meet Lee Brice and go out and write some songs with him. And
Nice.
we flew into Rochester. It was very cold.
How's Lee doing these days?
He is Lee.
Well, I mean, if he's writing with you.
he is Lee. He's
Lee.
He's constant like the sun and the moon. He comes up and he goes down.
Right.
And he's always there on the bus in your face.
Always watching, always judging.
Always awake, never sleeps. It's so much fun to go out and not sleep for 4 days straight and write with him.
How does he do it?
I have no idea. We've talked at length about this. And it's like when it gets to be day 4 or 5, I made the mistake going out with him for a week.
No,
Like
it's
at
like
the end of
Vegas,
last
right?
year.
It's like just like that walk of shame to their flight. Like, get me out of here.
I
Don't
just tell
ask
him,
me
I'm
questions.
Like, man, leave me alone. I'm
don't.
going to sleep now. You know more. Anything. You don't know. I'm out. Don't care.
Don't
talk to
care.
me.
No.
I don't
It's the best
care.
song I've ever written. I don't care. Take my name off
care,
of it. Leave me alone. Just let me close this curtain and go to sleep. So, Albany, New York.
But I lived
You
there.
didn't grow up there.
No, I've spent most of my life in Maine and Connecticut.
What part of
actually.
Maine?
Camden, Maine. Camden, Rockland, Maine.
I asked that question like
Do you
I
know,
know
have you ever
Maine
heard
like
of
the
the
back
lobster?
of my hand.
Have you ever heard of the Lobster Festival?
At Red Lobster, yes.
At
Yes,
Red Lobster.
Lobster Fest.
This is a different lobster festival.
Yes.
This is the Maine Seafood Festival that happens in Rockland, Maine every year.
I've been to Bahaba.
And we bring some of the best country artists up. I was on Johnny Paycheck's bus up there at Rockland, Maine.
Were you racist too?
Was he?
No,
Was he?
not Johnny Paycheck. It's the other one. David Allen Coe. He's the real bad racist.
Really?
Have you not heard his songs?
I love that you got the two of them confused.
Yeah, well, they're both old.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to
What's
listen to
going on?
this.
Yeah. No.
Bar Harbor is a beautiful place. Is it even close to that?
It's not far.
I've
It's
been to
not far.
Portland,
Bar
too.
Harbor's beautiful, actually. Yeah. So we have have you seen Camden Harbor?
No.
You need to see Camden Harbor.
Do you
That's
say it
one of
like
the-
Camden Harbor?
Camden Harbor?
Camden
Sure.
Harbor.
Come on down.
Harbor.
We're down east, right? You're up. Everything you do to get there is up, 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 but they call it down east.
Yeah.
So take that for what it means. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't. I've never
you
been.
grew
Couldn't tell
up
you.
in Maine and Connecticut. Connecticut's pretty close.
Connecticut's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like Maine.
No, it's nothing at all like Maine.
No.
They're both very white.
Very white.
Very,
Very white.
I like Barry White.
Very white.
no, very. It's his cousin.
Right.
Yeah. No, we played with Eddie Montgomery up there a few. We played up through Massachusetts, and we flew into New York and drove up through Connecticut, played some shows in Connecticut with him, and up through to Maine, to Bahaba.
They have the casinos up there that a lot of people play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing else to do. It's real cold.
It's real cold. Real cold.
One of the coldest times I ever had was Portland, Maine in February. It was real cold.
They don't
Yeah.
book a lot of hotel nights in Portland, Maine in February.
We played in a theater, like a movie theater.
Oh, on down on Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother
We
owned that.
played in a movie theater.
If you remember the name of it, my brother owned that.
Really?
He actually bought it and restored it in downtown Portland.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Isn't that crazy?
That's bananas.
Yeah.
This was years ago. This was 2008.
This is probably when I'll text him right now.
It was 2008 when we were there. Because I remember I Am Legend. We played this weird radio show there and then watched I Am Legend. And
It's a good movie.
It was a good movie. And I had clam chowder at the Hampton Inn, which was fabulous.
Do you know they probably got it at the store, right? It wasn't, they didn't.
For sure.
Yeah, okay.
But it was so cold.
So the lobster stew and the clam chowder we used to serve at the restaurant up in Camden, Maine I worked at, Cappy's Chowder House.
Cappies.
Yes, used
Well,
to
that's
be
original.
SS Pierce chowder. And then we used to dump another can of clam necks in there. And everyone used to, I drove all the way up from Maryland to have this chowder. I mean, like, man, it came out of a can.
It's amazing. That's so Applebee's.
What was the theater you owned in Portland?
Are you texting what you're texting to your brother right now on the podcast?
Yes.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
multitasking.
Well, I want to find out. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be a cool little...
It would be like we've known each other for a long time.
We have.
And had I known that, I probably met your brother then.
Probably. He looked
Probably
just
did.
like me.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember back.
I don't know.
I was on a lot of drugs back then.
Just serious.
Just serious.
I'm glad you got that solved.
Did you go to college up there?
I went to the University of Denver.
Wow. Big move.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, come on. I played lacrosse there at the University of Denver.
Lacrosse?
Lacrosse.
Is that
Not
in Denver?
LaCroix, that's water. Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Yes.
That's
We were the predecessors to what they are.
Predecessors? Boy, you need a cue card, don't you?
If it's not on a prompter, I can't read it.
You're like a real life Ron Burgundy.
So now they're like one of the top. I am. I
love
can't
it.
grow the mustache though.
I thought I smelled some rich mahogany in here.
guys.
Have you watched the outtakes?
Yes, they're the
Bloopers are
best.
the best thing about that. Frothy.
Hey, I've written a sitcom and there is some Ron Burgundy in my sitcom. So
Please be on one episode doing something.
When did that come out? Was that 04 or something like that?
Ron Burgundy?
Yeah.
No. It
Was
was
that
later
fun?
than that.
It was later than that.
Later?
It was in the late 2000s, I think.
2000.
I don't know. What year is this?
State Theater.
State Theater.
You remember
It
that?
has to
Does it
be
ring any? That has to.
It has to be
It was
it.
only theater
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, he was heavily consumed by drugs and alcohol.
No. Who else? It was me and Chad. Oh, it was, Whiskey Falls. Remember those guys?
Now,
I remember
now
Whiskey
that you
Falls.
bring their name back
It was
up.
Damon, who plays for, he's a band called Brother Kane. I was a huge fan. I was a rock guy. God, what the hell was his last name?
Oh, well, text someone like I did. Text someone, and you'll find out. I got an answer. You can get an answer too. It's an amazing thing these phones do for us.
Yeah.
Text a friend.
Well,
podcasts don't work.
Damon
Johnson.
Damon Johnson, fabulous. Dude, he plays for like Alice. He played for Alice Cooper, played guitar, and now he plays for somebody else. Like
Anchorman,
Skynyrd.
2004.
He's in Skynyrd now, huh?
Anchorman 2004. I was so right.
God, you're so stupid. I Am Legend.
Did the movie change your life in your career? Did you start, saying, man, I need to be more like Ron Burgundy while I'm, reporting the news?
If you ask me if the morning show was closer to my life or Anchorman was closer to my life, I would probably lean toward Anchorman.
Yeah.
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 What's Channel 2 doing here? They're always in third place.
Why are y'all's cameras different?
Oh, we got the little robotic cameras now.
Every we're all in Nashville here. Every news channel has a different lighting and camera scheme for some reason. It's all the same but different.
Well, I mean, we're all corporately owned, right? So it's
Yeah.
whatever's being pushed through the corporation at that
Yeah.
time there. But I have no idea how it is, but I do know that the lighting, it was sometimes questionable.
It's very questionable.
Right.
Even on like Good Morning America.
Right.
And between that and the Today Show, because I've watched both because I am a big dork. And I get up early and I'm having my coffee watching Hoda, She's gone now, like you. It's ridiculous. Everybody that I loved on TV's left. Now I'm stuck with Savannah and Breezy.
Savannah and Breezy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Dave. There'll be more. There'll be more.
That's fine.
There'll be more.
It's fine. I mean, Dan Miller died.
He was the best, wasn't he?
He was amazing.
He was the guy that you could watch and you felt like
he was telling me something.
He was telling me.
Yeah. He was like the Fred Thompson.
Don't go too far on this, Dan. Don't go too far on this. It's just you and me, okay?
I could see Dan.
But you know what? But the best thing about Dan was when I met him in person, he was the exact same dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was with his daughter. We were at some church thing, and he was just like the exact. And I was like, yes. He is the exact same guy you see on TV.
He just sometimes I just think he'd be out roasting bourbon and cigarettes in the hallway,
How do you get a voice like that?
Yeah.
Dan? Well, come with me.
Just out there sucking on like cowboy killers.
After the scene at 4, I'll show you the scene at 6, and it ain't pretty, okay?
That guy was when I first moved to town, 1998, somewhere around there.
Right.
Yeah, that's when I had.
You were 98, I was 96, so we've seen a lot. How are we still here?
How are we alive?
I have no idea
I know what
about
you've
that.
done.
Don't tell. Is that why I'm here today? I was wondering, why did he invite me? Now I know. Go. Is that your bank balance, Colt?
Yes.
Because 56.97 is you're not going to go far on 56.97, brother.
Rich, bro.
Oh, that was an Uber Eats part. Okay,
Yeah, that's how I'm still here.
All right, Batty.
I got you. So you gained 40 pounds. He lost it. So we found it. We found the net.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Are you eating nuts?
What
are you spitting out, teeth or what?
It was ice. I just took a bit. I started crunching ice on the microphone. I got a buddy who is the voice of the LSU Tigers that I grew up with, Chris Blair.
Yeah.
Wonderful dude. But we grew up in a town of 600 people in East Kentucky, Heinemann, Kentucky. His dad owned the radio station there, ran the radio station. And he texted me one day. He's like, dude, were you eating on your podcast? I was like, maybe.
Probably.
It's like, that's the most offensive thing you could do on radio or podcast.
We don't call it eating. It's carb loading.
Yeah.
I'm carb loading. I got to be at the
David was
Y tomorrow
hungry.
morning at 8 o'clock and find my parking space.
God.
But isn't that the beauty of the podcast? You don't have to be so. I mean, I'm sure you would understand this being in TV for 30 years.
It's the new frontier.
I mean, you had so many like restrictions and regulations and guidelines, and
so I love this
where
whole thing.
podcast
This
is
whole
like-
thing is great.
It's great.
we can go on a tangent for 30 minutes if we
Right.
want to. Or
That's the beauty of
David doesn't even wear
podcasts.
pants. You know?
It's not like you interviewing somebody or me getting interviewed like by radio or you doing whatever you would do.
I'm just sit here.
Yeah. But we could just talk about stupid shit and we don't have to get to anywhere. And we've had podcasts
Which
like
is good and
this.
bad.
Yeah.
That's a good thing and that's a bad thing.
Stormy Warren was in here.
Oh, Stormy.
We laughed. We cried.
Buddy.
That sounds like Stormy.
He cried 4 times. We all cried at one point. Oh, brother, you got to go listen to it. It's 2.5 hours.
It's our longest podcast.
Which we were.
Stormy cried 4 times. I got to cry 5.
Finally,
I'm always chasing Stormy.
there was a point I was like, Stormy, we got to quit now. We can't do
Stormy,
it
you gotta go
anymore.
home.
You got to go home, bud. You got to go home.
Do you want to talk about our kids some more?
Let's
talk about our kids.
It was these. I mean, it was worms and spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah.
And
He's amazing. He was my date to a documentary opening down at the Country Music Hall of Fame a few weeks ago. That was some World War II thing, and we were actually both in tears watching this documentary about Iwo Jima. And I'm like,
Wait, I shouldn't be laughing at that.
I feel very vulnerable right now, Stormy. I'm your date, and we're both crying. This is awkward,
oh my
brother.
God, we were crying over Iwo Jima. You know what happened? I mean, no.
Well, I'm not really good at history, so it's also I'm not doing the Nate Bargatze thing. The way these stories were told, though, you would have been crying too. If we did the threesome, you would have been crying.
That's real weird sounding.
God, I really came.
Sounds accurate though.
Kind of excited about it.
We've heard about it.
Losers gets lonely sometimes.
Maybe we go to Indonesia. Or wherever you're talking about. Barbados.
Bali. We didn't go to Indonesia. You're right.
Yeah.
We lost my buddy Baz there for a while.
Who hasn't?
He's just
Who doesn't lose their buddy Baz?
he's a Canadian and he's been here for years. But he's that Canadian guy that
because he was going friendly to everyone.
Yes.
He just
we lost him.
Yeah.
He showed back up at the villa at 4 a.m. Like, buddy, where you been? He goes, I went to a cockfight. There's a picture of him smoking a cigarette.
Did you totally see
Did you
Baz.
ask me who won?
He was like, you just the greatest thing ever. I was like, were there any other white people? He goes, nope, I was the only one. He was smoking. There's a picture of him smoking cigarettes. He's like, you go in and you bet like this. You look at somebody and you go, sama, 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 sama. And they go, sama, 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 if you want to bet. And then you just...
What you're missing is the hand gestures. You're missing the hand gestures.
How would you describe that, Neil?
Sama, 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 sama.
I'd call it the tickler. The tickler left and the tickler right.
Yeah.
And the tickler up is apparently the bad one. Yeah. You don't, okay.
That's how you get kicked out.
Well, glad he made it home.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you went to play lacrosse at Denver?
I didn't go to play lacrosse. I went to play soccer there. And the foreign coach did not like American soccer players.
Foreign coach.
Yes.
Racist.
Clearly.
Where was he from? Was he Francie?
Oh, England or something.
England.
Like that. Whatever. He had one of those magnificent
He's just
accents
mad that in 1775 and 6 kicked their ass.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get over that stuff easy, okay?
1776.
So anyway, I was in the gym after getting dejected by him, and the lacrosse coach, Danny Cisneros, came up to me and said, "You're just my kind of guy."
Did you play lacrosse?
I had not.
Lacrosse?
I had not. And the first ball thrown to me hit me in the chest and knocked the wind out of me. And I sat on the ground, just cuffed. It's the best thing ever.
Dude, lacrosse is no joke.
It is no joke. But
That
we were.
ball comes at you pretty quick.
And that's a small, hard ball.
It does. Yes, it does.
Wait for it.
You used to having balls come at you that quick.
Well, I had a lot of training for that role, so I was able to dodge them balls.
News 2.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Former News 2.
Yeah,
You should go to like News 3.
I tried. No one wants me. Can't count past 5, so that kind of ruined me for Fox. So
Is there a News 1? There's PBS.
PBS. I am actually going to fill in as a host on Tennessee Crossroads.
Really?
Nice.
Speaking of
NPR and PBS.
NPT.
We're sponsored today by Your Money. Your money keeps us going. Antiques Roadshow coming up next. I love Antiques Roadshow. I always think I have something, but I don't ever have anything.
Do you do anything but watch TV?
No. I spent the
I mean, all
majority
the
of my...
amazing things you do, and it sounds like you watch a heck of a lot of TV.
Do you realize that the past 20 years, the majority of my life has been spent on a tour bus? Now, what do we do on a tour bus besides, make up songs sometimes? Yes. Bunk sock.
The tickler.
We watch
tickler.
TV. Yeah. Summer. So you went to play soccer and you decided...
Tour buses smell good after a few weeks, don't they?
No. We got the first McGraw tour we did, we were on there for like 120 days straight.
Oh, my God.
And we left that bus. We got off of it in
Sure you weren't allowed back on.
in Orange County. Was our last show at the Honda Center. We got all the stuff off, and I went back on for something. And you know how you leave an apartment and you smell how the apartment smells without your shit in it? Mm-hmm. Buddy, that bus was dank.
I have walked onto a few tour buses, and it's like that sound of a can opening when the door opens and it just hits you in the face. You're like, I'm not going in there.
No.
I'm not interested.
I'm going to need another bath.
I'm good. Yeah.
It's not that cool.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch anything in here.
And we would be on there, because we had to go constantly. And we would play with McGraw, and then we'd jump off and do like festival dates. I remember one time we didn't have a shower. We couldn't stop to have a shower for a week.
Oh, no.
So I played 4 shows without a shower.
And you have to flip those monster tires with Tim between the shows, right? Which I'm sure you were out there every morning doing.
We played basketball with him. We had Fat Tim.
We had
Yeah.
We had
Pudgy Tim.
We didn't have Ozempic Tim.
For Christmas Tim.
We didn't have Ozempic McGraw.
For Christmas Tim.
Yeah, we had
he was a
Four
little chunky in that
Christmases
movie.
Tim.
Yeah.
That was the first tour. The second tour, he got sober, so he got in better shape. But we played basketball on a 9-foot goal, and I'm good at basketball. I played very well. Nobody else really did. So Tim would guard me, and I would just fucking eat his lunch. I would dunk on him, dunk on his head, and he would get so mad. He broke my ribs. He would punch me. I would go for a shot, and he would just punch me. And he broke my ribs on the second tour. It was us and Aldine and McGraw. We'd play basketball every day. I was very fit too.
Yeah, the Aldine crew's now into the tennis thing, what pickleball thing, doing all that stuff. Yeah, I know. I met Tim when I first got here. I had to do a promo for the Nashville Zoo, and I worked at a country radio station before I came here for 5 years. Of course I did, right? So we go out to Jolton at the old zoo, right? You remember the old zoo? Jolton.
I didn't know there was a zoo out there.
There was. That's where the Nashville Zoo used to be, right? And they used to breed the big cats out there, and Tim and I are out there, and having worked that, I was starstruck, right? Tim McGraw, Indian Outlaw.
Yeah.
I used to play your song Indian Outlaw all the time.
Yeah.
He could care less.
Yeah, couldn't.
I did not break that one bit.
No.
But he's always been, he's super kind.
Is he? Is he?
Yes, David. He's super kind.
Yeah,
always been.
He actually,
except when he punched you in the ribs and broke them.
He actually punched the radio guy for us.
Did he?
Not for us. Because we played, and it wasn't even the right radio guy.
I hate it when that happens.
Even better.
You go to towns like Detroit, there's like 2 stations that compete with each other.
Yeah.
Well, he had gone on air and played live, which didn't happen ever. But he did okay at it.
He has no filter, does he? Cole?
And they were supposed to give us.
Okay,
they were supposed
now I
to
understand
spin
why
our
people
record.
listen to this.
Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to spin our record.
Yeah.
X amount of times, which they did.
Yeah.
Well, another radio guy came from another station. Well, there was no agreement.
Right.
And he starts talking shit to this guy. The guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Tim just hits him right in the chest.
Really?
Yes. swear to God.
So, like, it wasn't a
was
love
whole
tap.
fiasco, dude. And then it came back on us. They were like, "Why did Tim hit the guy for you?" We were like, "We don't know. We don't control you."
Tim went rogue.
Tim McGraw went 1883 on him. You know,
Before he knew what 1883 was.
But that just showed he was very passionate about us and me and our career at the time.
At the time.
Not so much anymore. Right.
David is an afterthought.
Yeah. But anyway, so you played lacrosse at the University of Denver.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Did you?
It was long before I did the triathlon.
What did you do
That's in Galveston, correct?
Yes. Yeah, Galveston Island.
Did you want
Galveston Island.
Did you have any idea what you wanted to do when you were back in Connecticut and Maine?
I wanted nothing to do with television or broadcast.
What did you want to do?
That's a really good question.
Didn't you like kind
Did
of
you
grow
have
up in
any
that
goals?
area?
I was going to be a doctor.
I got an economics degree, so I guess I was going to be an economist. Right? Do you know what economist does?
It's the person on porn.
Because I didn't get that far. There I am, graduation day, university. Congratulations!
It's the person
you
that
get
cleans
an
up the
economics
porn
degree.
site.
Right?
Yeah.
Summer.
Well, I kind of did that in a way, didn't I, with my career?
Wasn't your family in
Didn't
TV?
I end up in that direction? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So my
So
dad
you grew up
ran
around
television.
it,
I grew up
And
around
you're like,
it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
No.
My
What
dad,
did your dad do?
he was a general manager of television stations growing up. So he
rich
ran
kid.
WTEN in Albany, New York, and WTNH in New Haven, Connecticut, and WABI up in
That's
Bangor,
why you
Maine.
traveled around. You weren't an army brat. You were a television kid.
We didn't move around that much. It
No?
wasn't that bad.
Television
No. But I was kind of cool. You know, I'd come home from school, and like Ted Koppel would be sitting at the table having dinner. You know, that night. And
Ted Koppel.
Ted Koppel
Neil,
would
I'm
be there.
sorry. You dropped a name. I think it rhymes with Ted Koppel.
Wow.
See it.
Ted
But for
Koppel.
real, though, like, Ted was just chilling in your house?
I'm not going to say any more names.
Did he have
okay?
helmet head
Don't
back
be shy.
then too?
What's that?
That helmet hair he
Peter
had.
Jennings. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Peter
It
Jennings.
slipped
You seen
again.
the meme going around? Peter and Jennings just roasting
No.
some ciggies on the
God,
between
yeah.
takes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's great. Those black and
It's
white
like,
pictures.
it's like I missed the
Oh, I
news
think
when
he's
you had
the
to
only
rip
one that ever smoked
Yeah.
in our house. Yeah.
just ripping
Absolutely.
beards.
100%.
I love the old dudes. I consider you an old dude.
I am an old
Did you ever have a Bill O'Reilly moment? Like, we're going to do it live. We're doing it live.
I had moments like that. We actually.
Did you ever have some?
Do you understand that line? How much it's said in TV studio? We're doing it live. No, that line gets so overused.
I'm sure it does now.
Oh, 100. Yeah,
But
that's
that clip
crazy.
in that moment, you're like, oh, that's incredible. Especially like someone like me who has no idea about that world.
There are times where you're not realizing that you're on the air.
Uh-oh.
And then the producer gets in your ear and says, "You realize you're on the air, right?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some of my favorite things to watch on YouTube are the news bloopers
Yeah.
of some of the girls that I think Breezy was even one.
Oh, yeah. She said some shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
she
said
did.
something. Yeah,
she she talked.
we actually, yeah, we
she
had
talked a little bit about it when she was on.
Yeah, I remember we had one. The anchor,
The hot mic moments, if you will.
Yes.
the anchor script and the video were not matched up, and and so the story, the tease was a new way to take care of abandoned animals in Nashville, and the video was a butcher literally hammering a piece of meat. And also, like when you're
Everybody in Nashville's like,
so you don't realize when you're reading the news, you actually have someone talking to you, right? So you have to be able to listen to someone talking to you about something that's totally unrelated and still read the news.
that's weird.
So when they kill something, right? They will
No
kill
pun
it.
intended.
So one of our anchors, I'm not going to say names of the anchors because I love her so much, but one of the anchors was reading a story and the producer gets on, the president is dead. And that's the story about the president next. And so the anchor just looked up at the camera and said, "The president is dead."
I am Ron Burgundy.
And there it is, right? So, and then the one time before the open came, Nikki and I were sitting there talking, and I said something like, "Smack my ass," and that went over the air.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a moment where you could feel the blood come out of your face?
Yeah.
It just,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just drains right out. I had that moment, and I was profusely apologizing about this whole thing.
So yeah, we've all had those moments.
We played.
Where's that prompter?
We had just signed with Universal.
Mm-hmm.
We were out with Tim. We had a hit single on the radio.
Yeah.
And we were going back to play Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Red, White, and Boom. Huge 4th of July festival. It was us, Gary Allen, Justin Moore, somebody else big was headlining. And it was Justin, then us, then Gary, and then whoever the big headliner was. It may have been Montgomery Gentry. I don't remember. So, lo and behold, we get rained out. Just us. So we
Sounds like a God
and there's
thing.
a bunch of people there to see us.
Best show of our life.
There's a bunch of people there to see us.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, once you guys go up, we're gonna play a show at a bar, and make up for us not playing there. Right. So I'm dejected. I'm so angry.
Oh yeah.
I'm angry, David. Ravid, if you will.
Yeah. Because you actually had to play.
No, that we weren't getting to play Red, White, and Boom. I always wanted to play Red, White, and Boom. So Chad and I, they take us up on stage.
They were all the way to Hazard until that day, and then they became halfway.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. So I'm up talking to the crowd, and they're, the crowd's wet, and they're angry that we're not going to get to see us play. And I'm getting angry with the crowd. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Lo and behold, to me, unbeknownst to me, the mayor of Lexington has come on stage to talk to us, and he's right behind me, and I'm just motherfucking and fucking the crowd all over the place. It was not a good day. No,
what did the mayor say?
No, he didn't say anything.
Right.
The label called David the next day and was like, "Hey, so here's what you're going to do."
Right.
Letter of apology to the city of Lexington, to the mayor. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
David, are you even serious about
Who
your
did you have
career?
write that?
Huh?
Who did you have write that?
I wrote it.
You did write it?
Yeah, Mommy made me write it.
100 times.
David, you go down and write it.
You write that over and over, David, until you understand what you've done.
Yeah.
You were like Morgan Wallen before Morgan Wallen was Morgan Wallen.
I've done everything Morgan did, just didn't make any money off of it.
It was just pre social media.
It's ridiculous. Right. I'm so racist, It's ridiculous. No. Just kidding. So did you economics in college, lacrosse? Mm-hmm. How long did you stay in Denver? Did you leave immediately? Because Colorado is a wonderful place.
So I went to work in New York City after I left Denver for Better Homes and Gardens magazine, selling advertising for right there. So did that for a couple of years, and then I missed Denver, flew back out to Denver. My first night back in Denver, I backed into a guy, Denny Moore, who ran a radio
Beef
station.
stew?
K-E-Z-Y.
K-E-Z-Y.
You remember that
Denny
one?
Moore beef stew?
Denny Moore. Not Dinty. That's his brother.
Oh.
Yeah, Denny was the poor one.
Okay. Sorry.
He hired me to sell radio advertising. I ended up spending more time in the studio cutting ads, spec ads, than I did actually out selling, because I started to enjoy that, right?
Yeah.
When you hear your mouth in a microphone, that's something that does
in a world.
It does something to you, David. It changes your life forever.
My voice is great on here.
I love hearing my voice.
Back at 104.47, 100,000 watts of power.
After 15 minutes of commercial, we'll play 5 minutes of straight music. And then we'll be right back.
Here comes half a song.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's 2 for Tuesday.
It's in the ground.
Here's Tim McGraw.
Here's my song, I Used to Go Poop. Indian Outlaw, the long version.
I used to play that. It'd be like my bathroom break song. And it's like, oh, yeah. Hear that in the toilet.
Yeah.
Brings me back.
It's good times.
So then I went back to Maine to work at our family radio station up there. My dad had retired from TV, and that's where I became a radio guy.
It's your radio.
I was strictly radio.
Strictly radio then. And how long were you there doing that?
5 years.
What was your first TV job?
So the local meteorologist up in Bangor, Maine, his name was Steve McKay. He went on vacation. He called me up. I was in the production audio booth. I had a big 615 haircut, no suits, no nothing. He said, "Hey, I'm going away for a week. Do you want to fill in for me doing the weather?" And I said, "Yeah, yes, I
With
do."
no
So you did
experience?
No. So
How do you get asked to do a job like that?
well, let me tell you.
Let's go down this road.
I
Neil.
started calling down all my buddies at the other radio stations. They're like, "Yeah, Steve already called me. Steve already called me. Steve already called me." So I finally called him back. Said, "Steve, am I the last person that you asked to do this?" He's like, "Absolutely, you are the." And I was like, "This was before challenge accepted." I was like, "Challenge accepted."
I'm going to do this. So I went over there. I bought myself a suit. I got a haircut. And I learned how to do the maps. I already knew stuff from flying and stuff like that a little bit. So I knew the weather patterns and stuff. And so I was going to kick butt on that because I was the last person selected. I was personally offended that he did that.
Yeah, he was right, wasn't he?
He was right. So I had one of the most comical first weeks of on-air weather that you will ever hear about.
Somewhere?
There's got to be.
There's got to be.
There's got to be. The first
you have to find it.
And so many people have heard this story too many times. But the first night, I finished the weather, and the news director comes over the intercom in the station and says, "Oh, Neil, can you come to my office real quick there?" "Sure, David." And I go, and his name is Dave. And then I go in this office. He's like, "Hey, you did a great job, but you were pointing at California the whole time. We're in Maine." But you know, everything's reversed in the camera, right? I wasn't reading that. I wasn't looking at the monitor. I wasn't seeing where I was pointing. Hey, you got pictures of me. Ugh. Don't Google me. Don't Google me.
I was trying to find a video, but it's not like showing you in Bangor, Maine.
Neil Bangor. What? Yeah.
That's probably so far back that there's not.
So the second night,
It must have been pre-internet.
it was definitely pre-internet. It was prehistoric. It was.
I didn't have a computer until I moved to Nashville.
Yeah. We weren't texting back then. I'll just leave it at that. We weren't writing emails.
I had a pager.
You had a pager.
It's exciting.
I remember when I came here and they gave me a pager, Channel 2, and I was like, oh, big time.
Did you have the one that sent the number or did the one with the speaker?
Mine was
Because
the
I
number.
first had the one with the speaker, and that got me in trouble a lot. Because your friends didn't care what they said on it.
Well, you remember
and
the
you couldn't
walkie-talkies?
stop it.
The walkie-talkie? And
Yeah,
Nextel?
Sprint,
Or-
Nextel.
Yeah.
Nextel.
Yeah.
Those
One
were
of
annoying.
things.
Yeah.
So my second night on the air, we had thunderstorms, and I left my keys and my change in my pocket, and I was so nervous doing that. You could hear the keys and the change rattling. Again, the boss calls me up, says, "Can you come to my office?" "Hey, next time there's thunderstorms, why don't you empty your pockets out so we don't hear that on the air?" Great.
Sorry.
I don't remember what happened the third night. I think it went smooth, but the fourth night, we used to have cords, right? And I was into it at that point. I was so animated that I got my feet wrapped around in the cord, and I had a bunny hop off the side of the screen.
No, you didn't.
That's a true story. Again, Dave calls me into his office. He's like, "Hey, never turn your back to a camera, and that won't happen." So apparently, I was just whirling around like I was like
Richard Simmons, yeah.
Yeah. Richard Simmons. I was trying to think of someone in the Brat Pack, not Richard Simmons, but thanks,
Richard
Colt.
Simmons?
Bouncing around like Richard Simmons.
It's like Ali Sheedy up here.
All right. So the last night.
It's not at all how I thought it was going to go, but it's so here for
This
it.
is good.
It's absolutely amazing.
Everyone knows Dave, not me, okay? The last night I do the weather just fine. I go back to the desk for the happy chat. You know the happy chat where the two people sit there and go, they go, "Wow, that weather's looking real good for the weekend. Thanks for delivering that for us." Well,
You're gonna kill Dave.
so you see the chair, Colton? See that with the wheels on it right there?
Yeah.
I sat down too close to the front of the chair. And I was sitting next to, like, think of the most distinguished anchor in Nashville you could think of, right? Well, this was the person up in Maine. And it came up to the 2-shot, and my chair flipped out from under me, and I disappeared immediately. And this woman, who probably never laughed on TV once in her life, lost it. Like, she was on her head was on a desk, and she's pounding the desk like, "Ah!" And they finally went to a commercial break without her doing it. They went to a commercial break. And so then
Where'd you go?
So there's more. Stop laughing. This isn't funny. This is not fun. It's my career. What could I have been if this didn't happen?
One week go so badly?
So the general manager came over the speaker.
This was day 5?
That was the day 5.
Yeah.
And she was notorious for not playing around.
Right.
And she's like, "Neil, could you come up to my office, please?" And the voice getting deeper and deeper. And it was like a James Bond movie. And like you walk in, the back of the chair is facing you, and you're like,
Slowly turns
"This is
around.
not good."
Yeah.
And she wheels around, and she's like,
That, young man, was the best week of weather I've ever seen in my life. And you have to promise me right now, whenever Steve McKay's on vacation, you're filling in for him.
You were the comedy relief.
I was a one-man comedy show doing
Ratings
weather.
must have just gone
They
way
didn't
up.
do ratings then. That was the gravy day of television where they would do a rating period like twice a year and
Send out $1 to you.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
Nielsen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have it, but I got those dollars and I never sent it back. Or the nickel or whatever it was.
I have no idea.
Times were
Nielsen
tough, right?
ratings?
Huh?
They would mail you
yes,
money.
Yes. I do remember that.
And a questionnaire.
They got a nickel or a quarter. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, you got the $1.
You remember when Peter Griffin got all the boxes in town? Because he made so much money from Nielsen and he was controlling TV then.
Oh, really? I missed that.
That's
Family
true,
Guy?
sorry.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
Peter Griffin?
Yeah. Never heard that.
Really?
Yeah. You would think I would.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
I know TV. You think I'd hear that stuff.
I know TV.
But I never heard that. No.
Yeah, he got all the boxes.
Could you imagine them coming and hooking up a box to your TV now and knowing everything you look at?
That'd be very dangerous.
Supernatural in the mornings.
Danielle Breezy in the
sometimes
afternoon.
Danielle, yeah. Get your safe space. Dude, we love her.
She's her and Joe are I used to have them over for Thanksgiving every year. I used to do a thing where anyone that didn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving come to my house and we'd have all the strays. It was our stray Thanksgiving, and I used to love having them over.
She spoke highly, and she said that sometimes you and Joe would go out and
Sama.
Polynesia.
Sama.
So since you have experience in forecasting the weather, what is your relationship with the full beaver moon?
Yeah.
Oh, I have it's an on again, off again relationship with the full beaver moon. I mean, I'm a beaver retriever generally, but I don't really, you know what? I don't talk about it as much anymore. But
It's a sore subject.
yeah,
Yes.
the beaver moon,
No,
the half beaver moon. Now,
We
That's
gave her
something.
so much shit about her big beaver moon.
She told
she
us
was on here.
we'd never heard of that before, and she dropped that knowledge on us, and we
Full
were like,
beaver moon.
You're lying."
right?
Yeah.
Now there's
Apparently it's
the
a
beaver
thing.
moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very passionate about her weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked at length about it.
She does take it very seriously.
Like she hates the groundhog too.
I've never seen anyone
I've
hate a
never seen
groundhog
such
so
a
much.
disdain for an
can't.
animal.
No,
And
she
so
can't even.
every
She can't
Groundhog
even.
Day we
So then,
text her.
at first, right? At first, you think she's joking, right?
She's not.
And then
She's serious.
you start peeling back the layers, and you realize, oh no, there's some serious stuff here. Yeah,
Does feel lucky?
feel lucky.
Sama.
Damn. I mean, beaver dam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've screwed up the weather for a week in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a job out of it. It's pretty impressive.
So my dad, who had been in television, did I mention? No, I'm not going to drop any more names.
Galveston?
No, please drop all the names.
Yeah.
He had
Ted
he had been
Koppel.
recording this. Now, the first week he didn't record any of them. Well, he recorded them, but I'm not sure where they are. The second week I did fine, and he recorded those, and he started sending them to his friends around the country. And then I got a call from Nashville, a guy named Mike Sechrist. He said, "Hey, you want to come down and interview for a job?"
Really?
So I came down, and they sat me with a woman in the weather center to learn how to do the maps there. And her name is Sylvia, and she said, "What are you here to interview for?" I said, "Well, they want me to do the weekend weather and then report 3 days a week." That's my job. I was like, "Oh, this is not going well." No.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So that went great. And
So she then enthusiastically showed you how to do her job.
of course,
Yes.
of
She
course.
was real happy to meet
She was
you.
very happy to
Yes.
meet me. And
So
then,
did you take her job?
Yes.
Ouch.
They fired her, and
I think they moved her over to a reporter position for a little bit.
Okay.
So, but
They did
then
the
that
office space
night,
treatment.
Yeah.
We're moving you to the basement.
We're moving to the basement.
stapler.
My swing line stapler.
With my picnic.
I've not received my paycheck.
Now I know why I'm wearing the headset.
That's one of my favorite
I would have
movies.
heard that if I.
Yeah. So good.
Lisa Patton had me watch her do the weather.
Lisa
Remember her?
Patton. Yes.
Yeah, she's sweet. She had me over the first Thanksgiving I was here. I had nowhere to go.
Where did she
That's
go?
where the whole idea.
She went away.
She just got tired of being on TV, and now she's doing some real estate stuff, and I don't know what she's doing over there.
Yes, yes.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
Sweet person. She said, "You watch me do the weather. When I go to the wall, you stand over here." And I said, "Fine." I didn't realize there was a 6-inch drop off where she was telling me to go walk.
And so as I walked past, and this is on air, she's talking about the weather. I hit that 6-inch drop, and I went rolling back for about another 10 feet before I got my balance as I was hitting a row of lockers. And it sounded like the whole move, it sounded like all the light kit fell from the ceiling and hit the ground.
You just have a real way on stage.
I make that first impression.
Yeah, strong. They're quite strong.
And so then I was called upstairs, and Mike said, he's like, so if you want that job, it's yours.
So you did.
You could just do no wrong.
You did the weekend weather.
I did the weekend
and you
weather.
did some reporting.
I did some reporting. Then I started doing the morning weather. Me and the anchor Victoria Hansen got along so great that they were like, why don't you just do news? I was 1 degree away from my meteorology degree, right?
Yeah.
And so I just dropped everything and jumped into news. So
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
How long was it? All at News 2?
It was all News 2.
At number 2? What do we say it on the air here? Do we say where you were at? Do you care?
I think it's part of my past.
Okay.
I think we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two.
The deuce. The big deuce.
Yeah.
And what year did you start there?
96.
96.
I think it was actually Halloween 95, actually. I think my first day, which is ironic and probably rightfully so, that it was Halloween 95, and I think that's when I started.
How long were you there before they jumped you up? I mean, how long were you doing that weekend stuff?
Man, I think
jumped up.
I don't even think it was 2 years.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who did you replace?
It was
that?
Victoria and a guy named Stewart. I can't remember his last name. Stewart. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started doing the morning. It was great. It was, and we changed it because we Channel 2 had no ratings in the morning because we were the last ones in with a morning show. Sorry, Fox. Fox was the last one, but at that point it was 3. And then and one morning we were just sitting there doing the news, and the phone rang between us. Like on set, the phone rings, and you're like, you remember the old rotary phones, like
Yeah.
And I look over at Victoria, I'm like, you going to answer it?
While you're live.
And so she picks it up while we're live on air, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I think that's Channel 5. I think you called the wrong station, darling." And she hung up, and that turned into this everyone came into work that they're like, "That was the most amazing thing." And so, and that kind of that put the whole show. We started doing these things where we just kind of having a little fun with it. Like, let's face it, right? Not all the news is serious, and you can have fun with it.
Yeah,
we started having fun with the stories we have fun with. We were serious when we had to be, and it was a great formula.
As much as you want to hear what's going on in the world, you just want to be entertained. You know,
it's really like Anchorman.
It
those
really
guys were
is.
having fun, although it's made up, but they were having fun.
It's
And
it's a
they were the
lot
most
like morning
watched-
radio, right? You want to laugh, you want to get the news, you want to do everything in the morning. You don't want to just sit there and be scared.
Some of my-
like in your sheets, like, oh no, they're coming for me. I don't like these stories. Everything's so crazy.
dude, a couple of years ago, I don't know if you were on the carpet for the CMAs or the ACMs or something. Something of CMAs.
Are you talking about when Tanya grabbed my taint?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
You are talking about
and
that.
Garth, you'd try to interview Garth, and he was being flippant or something, and you were just basically flippant. It was hilarious. Jen and I were dying. We were. Oh, his
You know what?
like the Christmas parade he would do. You were just so. God knew what you were doing. Sometimes I'm like, this is amazing. It's not serious at all.
No.
No.
I no.
Yeah.
No, if you miss a week of what I did, you didn't miss much, right?
Yeah.
So there was nothing very that serious.
Because this is back when I smoked the wacky stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I would get high and watch you.
Wake and bake.
Wake and bake. Yeah.
I wish I knew that.
Good times in the morning.
wish I knew
would
that.
text you from time to time. What are you
You
doing?
did that.
I see you.
That's true.
I see you. I am watching you.
He would do something. I'm like, that was dumb. She was like, you can't text him now. I just did.
You just did.
Yeah.
If I show you the text I got from people in the morning, yeah. It was instant feedback, you know. It wasn't go to your social media line and find out what's going on. It's your friends on your phone going, dude, that was the dumbest thing I ever saw in my life. And you're like, what? I thought it was great.
It's like you screwed that all up.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah. The great thing is I have a golfer's memory, right?
Yeah.
You know, I go to the next hole and I forget what just happened a second ago. So
You have to.
No.
You have to in this industry.
There used to be a time when people had to write letters to complain.
Yeah.
Right? When I first got here, I had a dog, a chocolate lab named Kevin, right? Kevin used to
Great name.
Kevin used to come Kevin used to come in with me at work, and he'd sit right between us at the desk. No one knew he was there. Then we hired a meteorologist named
Kevin.
Oh.
And every time we tossed to Kevin, my Kevin would pop up.
Yeah.
And you'd see the top of that flat head right there. And
Dad?
And a week later, you'd open up the letter. Hey, I don't mean to pry, but it's like social media today. But it was a week later. I don't mean to pry, but I think there's a dog between you guys in the morning. There, it's like
I can't believe somebody would write a letter about that.
Of course they would. Have you
wouldn't-
seen people
Florence
lately?
from Jolton.
I think a television show should be just a set static shot camera of the desk where people call in to a TV station and pick it up, and you just hear. You only even have to hear the other side of the conversation.
Right.
You just hear the side of the conversation with the person trying to answer.
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
It would be. I love people.
No, man. The full moon did not cause Percy Priest to overflow last. No.
Yes,
No.
the full moon beaver is real.
Yes.
Yes.
It for
Full
sure
beaver
happened.
moon.
That's why I love Next Door so much.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, the app?
the neighborhood app.
The alerts that
there's
just
one-
give you half the headline. You have to go into
yeah.
the I know that one very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, we have one woman that we follow quite often. Blessings, Cheryl.
Blessings.
Cheryl.
Hey y'all, it
always has
snowed
something.
last week. Is it safe to go to Kroger?
Yeah.
With those fireworks. I heard gunshots.
I have a stray squirrel. I swear it's tame. It keeps coming up to me. It's nuts.
There's a black and white cat out here. It
day.
smells terrible.
Every
Does
day.
anybody know what it is?
Every day.
What kind of snake is this?
Yeah. The people are so dumb but amazing.
Truly amazing.
It's not so much they're dumb; they just don't think. And I've done this before.
And they get to vote. It's great.
We have, we have bushes out in front of our house, and we have a homeowners association that trims these bushes.
Right.
Wait,
They're like
what?
holly bushes, right?
Oh, the prickly ones.
Yeah.
That's a good next door
I
subject.
went out one day, and the top of my bushes were real brown, and I'm like, oh, got to put this on Next Door. It's like, what has the landscapers? What have they done to my bushes?
My bush.
Did anybody else?
My
And I don't know
hollies.
why I
My
did
hollies
this.
are not
My
hollies
are not
anymore.
holly. They're not happy.
They're not happy.
The little berries that's falling off.
The hollies
And-
aren't jolly.
And I put it on this freaking site, and I was serious. I was angry about my bushes. And some dude hit me back, goes,
Well, if you trim that bush
Dude.
back too far, it's going to brown up on you. And anyone who's ever trimmed a bush knows that if you go too deep,
Yeah.
it browns up on
this
you.
wasn't that. The dude goes, it frosted last night, right?
Oh,
And I was like, oh, I was just that person.
Yeah.
And Jenna was like, you're never going to post on there again, are you? And I was like, I am not. She goes, good.
Literally everyone was looking at that going, I
Everybody.
love this next door app with
Yeah.
these stupid idiots.
Look at this
posting
moron.
stuff
Look
like
at
this.
Oliver.
Honey,
Well,
look,
ice works.
What a moron.
olive tree didn't make the frost.
Your bushes got cold, dickhead, you know?
You're supposed to cover your tender vegetation, you
Why
loser.
didn't you cover them?
Yeah. Don't you have anything else better to do?
Grow up, hog boy. You know, I don't know.
Boy.
Where are you from? The city?
You've Kansas or Arkansas. Yeah, Kansas. And, yeah. Anyway. So, what you been doing lately? You left News 2 last year?
I left it the day before Thanksgiving.
How you feel about that?
I love it. It was fun doing it.
Yeah.
I probably stayed a little longer than I should have.
You were there 30 years?
30 years. 30 years at the same station. That's pretty impressive because like people don't really stick around that long.
That doesn't happen.
No.
So either you were really good at your job.
Did you just not have any
or-
other work?
You don't
or-
understand. Every single tie I was wearing into work was older than my coworkers. Okay, when your ties become older than your coworkers, you have to start doing some serious reflection.
Yeah.
And it
did
was
you
at
have
that
a lot
time.
How many suits did you have?
I had 8.
That's it?
Yeah, 7 days in the week, one spare, kind of rotating in and out. Yeah.
Well, obviously you're rotating in and out. You can't wear them all at the same time. You'd be very hot.
Well, actually, I have done that. I've worn the same suit every single day, just changing the tie. Before, when they're at the dry cleaner, before no one notices.
no, I
a
was
thing.
thinking wearing all
Now-
the suits at one time.
No,
That'd be very puffy.
yeah, very
You'd be
puffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to go to the Y a little bit more to do that. A little bit more.
Let this last one out a little bit. It's like the hat you stack. Yeah.
I actually had they were organized from Fat Neil to Skinny Neil. So I'd either be really 4 were in play at any given time. It'd be Fat Neil suits for the the dangerous days.
Yeah.
And then, you break up with someone, you lose all that weight, and you're back in your thin side. So I was
fried food, Neil.
Fried food, Neil, yeah. And fruit, Neil. And
You're having a hard time talking, not being on air.
well, it just came from getting my hair cut.
It's
It always
fine.
screws up. It's fine.
Fine. They got my tongue one. Got my tongue hair.
My tongue hurts.
She put something on me to slow me down in that chair, and I don't know what it is. I haven't been the same since. Don't know.
Did she touch you, Providence? I don't know.
Well, it's a full service.
Oh,
So
Cut.
You're
I had
gonna-
8 suits. That's good. Haven't. Yeah.
God. So
What have I been doing since?
Yes.
I've not been wearing suits.
Good.
All right, so I don't even know if I'm in my fat side or my thin side right now.
You look great. man.
Probably my thin side.
You're
Probably
looking,
my thin
you're
side.
like medium.
Well,
medium.
Yeah.
I am medium right now.
You're nilium. Medium.
I don't know.
That was awful.
I'm almost 59, and when you work
Are
out,
you 59?
No way.
58?
You look way younger than
Really?
David, so you're
59.
doing good.
Piss off. Eric Church shirt.
Okay,
that's a cool
Terrible.
shirt.
That's a terrible shirt.
Cole, I like your shirt.
thanks. He's just mad because he said Halfway to Hazard had a shirt like this, and
We
Eric Church
had
ripped him off.
that shirt.
now I
before
do
Eric
see his
Church
bank
had that
balance.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the Twangtown. The bank balance.
Yeah, negative $4 million.
So we're working on the monetization, are we?
I was asked that earlier. I was like, we haven't. We
don't-
don't. We don't
haven't-
take
we-
any money.
we-
do this for the
for
love
fun,
of
for the love.
twanging.
Yeah, we do this for the love of
I
everybody
thought I was
who
going to get
listens.
paid.
No,
Well.
checks in the mail.
Okay. I've been doing a lot of stuff not making money since I left. Actually,
You've got a screenplay. Is that
I've written a sitcom series.
Sitcom.
So I woke up one day and I went down to my little podcast studio that I have in my house, and I just started writing, and I wrote for 12 hours straight, and I wrote 12 episodes to start with. I'm up to 15. I just finished one on AI in the newsroom, which is freaking hilarious. Awesome.
there's a premise for this? I'm assuming
I'll just say I spent 30 years researching the topic.
okay. Perfect. That's enough said.
Do you understand
don't need
where
to
we're
give
going
it
with that?
away.
Yeah.
I don't
It's-
want anybody to steal anything.
It's awesome.
So.
So I did taking acting lessons, right? Improv classes.
Oh, you
Have
and
you ever
Rich
done that?
Redmond,
Have you
huh?
ever done improv classes?
No.
You got to put it out there.
Yeah.
It's
That's bearing some. That's raw.
right. You remember?
No.
I think everyone should do it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Right. So we've gone to 7, 8.
You're doing that here in Nashville?
Third Coast Comedy.
Third Coast Comedy.
Yep.
I had a.
Name drop.
What?
Oh.
Look!
We.
Another name.
It rolled under the couch.
I roll under the couch.
I've been to. I went.
Peter Jennings.
One of Jenna's coworkers. One of Jenna's
Sam
coworkers
Donaldson. He was there.
decided she wanted to be, do out of her comfort zone and be a comedian for a night.
Yeah.
So she went and did some comedian stuff, and
Yeah.
they had basically all the people in the school got to do like a minute or two of stand up.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I'm going to do that.
It was. You
I
would
am
be
gonna do
good
that.
at it.
I'm going to do that.
Some of these people did not need to, including her coworker. But it's different. It's a different thing. My thing is different than that.
When you've been doing the same thing day in, day out for 30 years and you stop doing that, you have to start reprogramming yourself.
Pivot.
Pivot that's exactly. And so that's kind of the direction it's gone. It's been remarkable, actually.
You look real happy about it.
I felt I was 58 going on 80 when I was there, just because, you come in the studio and the young reporter comes in, oh, well, you're a legend. And like, I'm not a legend, okay? I'm here 5 days a week, just like you, earning a paycheck. I'm not a legend. How old are you? I'm 22. I had a producer celebrate her 21st birthday one.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, okay, it's like I get it. I'm old. I aged out. I'm done. I'm not morning material anymore. You get notes and like, hey, who's the old guy trying to pick up the young reporter? It's like I'm not doing that. My girlfriend is watching. So you leave.
You're just so
You're
charismatic.
just being
Neil.
old man nice.
You just
It's
But what it was great. I met so many great people
like doing this.
I tried to
it's like-
remember how I think it was through Troy and Eddie. I think you came to one of our shows.
It was.
one time.
It was one of either a ride with them or it was.
I think it was the ride.
I think it was the ride when we met, actually.
And we just found we had the same terrible sense of humor.
We do, and it's not good together often.
No, it's not. We would see each other out sometimes.
Oh, boy.
and- yeah, it was good. Good. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that was before I quit thinking.
yeah.
So you said you had a podcast studio.
Yeah.
Have you started your own podcast?
I haven't yet actually, but
Working
I'm
on it?
working on it.
Okay,
I
okay.
got some kind of cool stuff that's actually happening right now, and if it pans out, it's going to be pretty exciting. And I'll have you on.
We
Yeah.
would love to be podcasted the reverse way.
Are you into live podcasting?
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
It's really no different for us. As long as we can not have any filters.
edit this, right?
We really don't edit anything.
There's no-
There's one time that we've beeped it because I said a word that I did not want to say, but I was quoting a movie.
What's it rhyme with? I know it.
Be hard. But it
Did not see that one coming.
out of I have a special needs niece, and I have other people in my life that have special needs kids, and I just don't ever say that word. And
He was quoting
I
Sling
was
Blade.
quoting Sling Blade,
Yeah.
and I just went off on a tangent, and I did it, and I was like, "Oh God, we got to beep that out."
That's
so
good.
Colt beeped it
So
out.
I had to learn how to beep something
Beep
out.
something out.
But that's the only thing we've ever really. I mean, we've said a lot of stuff.
Wouldn't it be fun to have this show where you beep everyone out, where people just sit there the whole time and just going,
Just
what
random.
did he say?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Have my
What did he
mom
say?
on and just beep her out. Yeah. What is it? The Jimmy Kimmel
hasn't
does
had your
that
mom on?
unnecessary censoring.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
it.
It's hilarious.
I know.
It's good
That's what you
stuff.
should do with this.
We should do that one time.
Yeah.
You know,
that'd
he
be
said
interesting.
beep, and then he stuck his beep in her ear, and
Hey, hand me that. I want to put it in my.
Stop touching my beep. Sama beep.
That ain't right. Cole.
so and you're doing a triathlon.
In
Did I
Galveston.
mention that?
Yeah,
Galveston Island. Yeah, that's coming up April 6th.
Can people buy tickets to that?
You might want to.
Do you think
You
you're
might
gonna?
want to.
You think you're gonna poop yourself?
I almost did run in the other day. Actually, that's funny you brought that up.
Did you see the girl that went around Instagram for a while that like they were videoing? It's like she was winning this race, and she's like, "Don't get me from the back. I just shit myself."
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
How do you just shit yourself while running? I don't even like to poop on the toilet sometimes, much less have it in my pants for 5 miles.
That would not be pleasant.
It's a rash
I
waiting to
haven't done
happen.
it. Have you ever watched the Country Music Marathon, or what is it called, Rock and Roll Marathon
I don't know
now?
what it is now.
People are pulling off the side in bushes the whole time.
Really? wow.
And they're not just going out the front door.
Oh,
So people are squatting all along the course.
What do you eat
That's
before?
disgusting.
The
That's
carb
the thing.
load?
You're eating so much protein and so many carbs, and if you don't train doing that stuff,
yeah.
the race day will get you, and it will go right through you. But no, I did I just say I almost did the other day?
Yeah.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
I
You
did.
You did
I-
poop yourself?
It was the most frantic drive back to my house.
Oh, the sweaty.
And I was
sweaty drive.
I was leaning on one side and
Yeah.
trying to put more pressure on the thing, and then I walk in, and Carrie's trying to have a conversation with them. They're like, "Don't talk to me right now!
Yeah.
Move out, gotta get out of the way!"
I'll
And
sing.
the dog's scared, and everyone's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then I come back upstairs, and everyone's like, "You okay?"
I'll just
I'm
go
okay.
do,
Yeah.
do, 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 do
Better
in the
now.
car.
Hey, I'm going to go back running now. And then I went back and ran.
It's the worst feeling in the world. It is,
Running?
that too.
Or pooping.
Yeah, poop.
Pooping
having
and running?
to poo. Having to go poo.
Oh, and nothing. Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
body knows when you're getting close to the house for some reason, and then it gets worse.
Oh, the crampy poops are the worst.
poops are bad.
The crampies, the sweaty,
Start prairie
upper
dogging.
lip.
Well, I got some bad news for you too.
Yeah.
When you get to 58, you don't pass a toilet break.
No,
No, you
I
don't
don't
pass the
now.
opportunity. You don't. Well, there you go. You're there.
constantly going.
Yeah.
I'm regular.
Right.
It's in the. I can't believe we dwelled into this conversation.
happened?
How did this happen?
It used to be such a classy show.
Yeah.
We were talking about Galveston, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, we're shitting
Now we're talking
ourselves.
about pooping. Yeah. Okay.
No,
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Actually.
Up
Yeah.
in the morning, I do my business, and then I have my coffee, and I do some more business.
Oh,
And then
you're
I go to the
double.
gym. Sometimes I do my business at the gym. I don't know.
You're the
Those
one.
bathrooms are nice. There individual stalls?
Yeah.
Individual locked bathrooms?
Yeah. No, but I was in there and I thought I locked it all the way.
Oh, that's why they put the signs up.
I mean, I twisted it, right? And I'm sitting there with my headphones on, so I'm sitting down and I'm not paying attention to anything. And all of a sudden I feel this light come in and I turn and there's this horrified woman walking in and I'm like, and I shrieked. I was, ah!
Oh,
Were you in the women's restroom?
Then no, these are
no, they're unisex bathrooms. There's
unisex.
like 5 of them in a row.
Yeah,
I got you.
So then it says vacant or occupied, red or green on the door.
Okay.
When you lock it,
Okay.
So then I had to do this.
I was wondering.
wish we had
about
video
a
of that.
month ago, they put these signs on the toilet and on the door that
was
says,
me. Yeah.
"Be sure to lock the door because nobody wants to see you on the toilet." Basically,
Yeah.
So Neil Orne
Gary's like,
is-
so someone went home and said they saw a news guy.
Neil Orne was taking a number 2.
Right.
Neil Orne from News 2
Neil
was
Orne
taking a
exposes
number
himself
2.
in unisex bathroom.
He was, cutting some pipe and and he just left the door open so everyone could see because
Cutting pipe.
we obviously realize he's a freak.
Yeah. When we had our suspicions, but it's now confirmed.
Oh, never made headlines, never got in the news, but now we know.
Where's your favorite place to eat in town?
I like Perry's Steakhouse
Chili's?
a lot.
Chili's?
I like Jeff Ruby's.
Perry's in Cool Springs?
My kids love love Chili's.
Chili's.
There used to be well, I'm not going to talk about restaurants that aren't there anymore. Why?
That's what we do. It's
We must
Nashville.
know.
Yellow Porch. You remember Yellow Porch
Yellow
back
Porch,
in the
I
day? I
remember
used to
Yellow
love
Porch,
that. I
yeah.
hate when it
Berry
shut
Hill.
down.
Berry Hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a great restaurant
Used to
over
live
there.
right over there. Used to live right over there in 12 South.
Peter's Sushi's good down in the Brentwood
Peters,
area.
yes, the Brentwood
Always
area.
good. Yep.
By the TJ Maxx and
By
the
the-
Nordstrom Rack.
Busiest TJ Maxx in the country.
It sure is.
Is it really?
I don't know, but everyone says
Feels like
that,
it.
and I'm just
Yeah.
buying
Dude,
it. I'm all in.
You go by that parking lot on Saturday.
There's also a place called Total Wine over there. I've never been in.
Been
but
in there.
You have? Okay.
Yeah, it's a big.
Is that
it's
big
a
place?
Big, yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of liquors.
Yeah.
I
There
don't
once.
drink anymore.
Good.
But I have been in there.
Yeah. Well, they have nowadays. You just have to go in the back.
Nowadays.
No, I forget it.
Okay.
Search.
That's some weird sexual thing.
It's code.
Nowadays, you.
No, it's a CBD drink.
The weed drinks.
The weed drinks.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, I know people at Total Wine. I was
Nice.
kidding.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I was-
it's a nice looking store.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
what's
liquor
your
bar.
favorite restaurant? What do you eat? Do you like Judge Beans? Judge
We-
Beans is like
Man.
I like Judge Beans.
The smoked wings on Wednesday are great there.
Great.
I don't go out a whole lot. I tend to cook quite a bit.
That's good.
I love grilling.
Mm-hmm.
We Jen and I will cook together. We make a lot of
That's
stuff.
cool.
It's awesome, and we save money and we eat healthier than we would going out. But when I did go out, we'll go down to like a J. Alexander's in Cool Springs
Love J.
because it's
Alexander's.
consistently
J's, yeah.
good.
Always
It's a good price point. It's a consistently good. There's a French dip on there with palm frites that is delightful with that extra horseradish on the side.
And you never know who's going to sit next to you.
You really don't.
Lee Greenwood sat next to me and Carrie the other day.
Have you seen him play his tiny saxophone?
I have not seen him play his tiny
Holy
saxophone.
shit, dude. We did a benefit with him a couple years ago, and he gets up and sings with a track, sings God Bless the USA. Middle of it, somewhere, he pulls out this tiny saxophone and starts ripping on a solo in the middle of God Bless the USA. The place lost their minds.
I need video of that.
I gotta find that video.
Yeah.
You just hear me going, this is the greatest day of my life.
He did the Daryl Singletary tribute, not this year, last year, and he did not pull out a tiny saxophone.
Dude,
and now,
Lee
now
Greenwood
next
and his
time I
tiny
see him, I'm going to
saxophone.
see where was it?
You need to ask him about his time. He may pull it out.
You said like you couldn't see it, and all of a
You
sudden
couldn't see it. He just whoosh, tiny saxophone. It was amazing. Where
Nothing
else
like
do I
whipping out that tiny sax.
I love going like.
What about you, Colt? Since you know what, cooking at home, by the way, that's the best. That's the healthiest thing you can do.
It really is.
Yeah.
Manit Chauhan's place, Chauhan,
Oh yeah,
down
That place
by
is good.
where 12th,
Oh,
across
yeah,
from
yeah,
where
yeah,
12th
yeah.
Where
Porter
Judge Beans
be.
used to be.
Yeah.
Where Judge Beans used to
Yeah.
Manit Chauhan's place is if not my favorite place in town. to
That's
eat.
cool.
Great Indian
There's-
food.
It's unreal. Like I didn't know I loved Indian food as much as her, but hers is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Cleans you out too.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, I'm kind of like David.
Kroger
we don't
Deli.
eat out a whole lot. We cook a lot at home,
Yeah.
but the last 2 places I've been that I really enjoyed was Bourbon. Great
Bourbon's
steaks.
good. Yep.
And then
Yep.
just randomly, me and a couple other guys went to E3 Chop House.
E3's good.
Which I'd been to before. And last time I was there, it was fine. But when I went this past time, like a couple weeks ago, like the steaks were.
That's
Our money.
Aldine and Luke's place,
If
right?
you want a place, have you been to 888?
No, never heard of it.
888 is it's like walking into 1980s LA. All right. They have a DJ with the big old school speakers spinning vinyl.
Yeah.
There. They have the main sushi guy used to, like cook for Gwyneth Paltrow and all these different celebrities out in LA and stuff. The general manager has a big 615 hairdo and he's the nicest guy in the world. And it's just a vibe and the food is great. They have this one dish they bring to you and they pour this sauce on it and the dish looks like it's alive with these tentacles. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's this.
Well,
it's more the up. It's this one. It's this one. Yeah, that's it. But it's freaky. I thought it was alive at first, but it wasn't.
Where is this place?
It's down. Okay, the JW Marriott, right? What's the steakhouse right there?
Oak.
Okay, so the front door of Oak is directly across from 888's front door, but there's no sign for it. There's just a red light above it, and trust me, go down there, and there are people down there looking for it. They can't find it. There's no sign, no nothing.
I love those places.
The roof is an old Catholic school basketball court above you. I swear,
this is a dream you had.
Literally,
this place isn't real.
Lay off the CBD drinks, Neil.
Go to Total Wine and get your weed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Elixir.
I don't get that there. Okay, writing juice. Anyway, the
Writing Jews.
Juice.
Oh, juice.
So offensive.
What? How racist
Now we
are
get
you?
anti-Semitic here.
I
with
know
you?
why you're
What's
not working
wrong?
for
You're
News
like a
2 now.
one-man wrecking crew.
I'm not.
If I did work for News 2, this would be the last day.
I love everyone.
Neil, could you come up to the office, please?
Again.
You're on that
Hicktown podcast.
Down.
We'd like to play some stuff back for you.
Yeah,
real
that guy
quick.
from Halfway to Heaven was on the.
God,
When I first got to town, there was a guy named Michael Turco here who was a consumer reporter. Michael used to have a big long
615 haircut?
No, he had a ponytail.
Oh,
It was
okay.
he was part Indian. He was the nicest guy in the world. But he took me around town, but he took me to places I probably shouldn't have gone to.
yeah.
Those places. Yeah, right. And we got called up to the general manager's office, and he had a manila envelope in front of him, and a photographer had taken pictures of me, Turco, and Mitch Ballard coming out of one of those places, high-fiving each other. And, like three guys walking out like, woo! We did that was the best!
6 a.m.
And he laid the pictures out in front of us. This is like my first 2 weeks here. So I had a very eventful first few weeks here in Nashville.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't ever want to see one of these pictures on my desk again from the Nashville scene.
Wow.
Oh, the
on,
Nashville scene.
Lay off.
So that kind of changed everything for us. We had to, learn how to put disguises on, all that fun stuff.
I forgot about the Nashville scene. The
All right, so
rage and the
you
Nashville scene.
You remind me of a question. So you moved here in 95.
Yeah.
Been here, was it 30 years?
Yep.
What has been the biggest changes of Nashville? Two-part question. What's the biggest changes of Nashville from when you first moved here to now? And then also, let's throw it back to television. What has changed about television over the last 30 years?
So when you first moved here, when you were going somewhere, it was I'll be there in 10 minutes. It didn't matter where you were going.
Now you want me to get on that tangent, huh?
I'll be there in 10 minutes was all you had to say, and you'd be there in 10 minutes.
Sure would.
Now it's like I've never driven in rush hour traffic until now. Now I drive in rush hour. You're like, yeah. If you don't have Waze going, you're done. It's over.
It's an
I
hour.
don't use Waze anymore. It lies to me.
Yeah, they do try to keep you on the main roads, don't they?
They can
That's
kiss
true.
my ass.
They
I
can
think
kiss
I
your
think it
ass.
directs traffic.
Because I'm not gonna.
I now go. It doesn't matter if it takes me longer. I go where the people aren't. I will drive to Kingston Springs and go to Brentwood.
That's how I am too. As long as my wheels are moving.
Yes.
As long as my wheels are moving,
My mouth isn't.
I'm happy. If I have to sit through 3 lights, I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
I will murders. So anyway,
So there's that.
the traffic.
There's
yes.
that. But you also get to a point where you're saying, this used to be, that used to be, that used to be, and that's my life now. That's right there. That's where that used to be. You know, so I don't know. When I first moved to town, like we'd go downtown. We go to Skull's place, and that was pretty much all we do. We'd see
Central
Johnny
Station.
and Angie behind the bar there, and Skull would be between his 2 stacks of newspapers, just minding his own business.
Yeah.
And you'd walk by, and he'd be like, "They didn't fire Davis, did they?" Be like, "No, Skull, he didn't." He's like, "Do you know I saved his job once?" He'd tell you the whole story about
I
it.
saw him the other day.
It's not Davis.
Yeah,
Skull's
no,
dead.
Skull's, he's dead.
He was murdered.
If I saw him, that would be weird.
That was tragic.
Yeah. I went to my ENT.
Yeah.
My ear, nose, and throat guy. New first time I've been there, and Davis walked in front of me.
He's one of the smartest meteorologists I've ever met in my life. He not only knows how the weather works, he knows how the radars work that detect the weather.
And he's still wrong sometimes.
See what I mean?
Liars.
He's scam. He wrote me one of the nicest notes when I left town too. He's a super guy. But yeah, I mean, it's just the whole city's like. Back when I go home, the same pickup trucks are rotting in the same front yards, right? 30 years later.
Yeah.
That's not the case here. I love the growth that's happened here. I actually do.
It's a lot.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
What was the second part of the question?
How has TV changed?
Oh.
Or in what ways
Well-
the most that really stand out to you over the last 30 years?
I mean, it's all corporate owned now, right? So we're owned by I was owned by Nexstar, which they own 120, 150. I don't even know how many stations. So now you're run out of Dallas, and you're not really. I mean, you have local management here and stuff like that. But it kind of changed the whole focus. I think if you look at any newscast, you can now pick it up and move it to any city, plop it back down, and no one would know the difference, right?
Yeah.
They just become these. To me, my personal opinion, they've just become kind of these generic things. They all sound the same.
Sure.
At this point. Yeah. And when you live in a city like Nashville that has so unique and so much character, it's just kind of frustrating that no, we should be celebrating the city along with giving the news.
Sure.
And I felt like we had some of that when I first got here, and I feel like that's kind of slipping away. And I hope they return to that. And you know, everything's cyclical. So hopefully they'll think back to that. But you know, we shot on tape when I first got here, right? And you'd go back and you would literally be cutting tape and editing it together. Then the digital cartridges came along, and then the discs came along. And at one point, we were using all 3. So when you got back to the station, you didn't know what was going to happen. How is this going to get on TV? I can't believe it. So you have to have the story cut, usually last second, run upstairs. And now everything's digital. And people edit at their desks now instead of edit suites. And the whole chain of command is different. And for a reporter now, you used to have to go out with a photographer and do 1 story per day. You come back in, and that was your day. You're done.
Yeah.
Now they usually do 2, 3 stories. Then they have to do a certain number of social media posts, and they have to do whatever else is involved. It's just the workload, because technology has advanced so much, has increased so much on these kids.
Yeah.
That it's just a lot. I admire the young kids that are getting this business right now, because I couldn't do it. Matter of fact, I left because I couldn't do it.
Especially when it snows.
Oh yeah.
When it snows,
Don't drive. Don't get out like me,
buddy. I've found it. The past 2 the snowfalls this year, I've noticed it more. They take over everything. Like, you don't have programming other than that red bar at the bottom.
Right.
And them going, well, now if you're sledding, you need to wear a helmet. And don't go to a too steep a place. And don't ever get pulled behind a car.
Right.
I'm like, what? No. What? No, what?
Well, you remember, school announcements used to be made on television. So you'd get up in the morning and you'd be watching the
It's
bottom
like watching
of the
the
screen.
NFL draft, yeah.
Yeah. We're off! Yeah!
We had to listen to the radio.
Right.
We didn't have it on our TV screen.
So now you get on your phone. No, so that was taken away from TV. All the forecast information, that's on your phone.
I look at my phone.
Right.
To know what the weather's going to be.
So this
the Weather Channel app, even though it's wrong all the time.
Right. So this business is trying to find its
purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I think you notice that when you watch snow coverage,
It's-
like you're like they're trying to find their purchase for their purpose
They're trying.
and purchase.
They really are.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
What was your most memorable moment over the past 30 years, good or bad?
Wow.
said at the same time,
Ooh, look at
That was
us.
trippy.
I don't know. What do you mean? Like good or bad?
Like maybe there was a day where you're like,
So I think I've been asked this. I think I've come up with a different answer every
I
single
can
time.
think of
because-
one.
I mean, what?
I can think. Well, I mean, one of the biggest news stories since we've been in town was
Right.
when towers fell. You know, were you in the station then? Were you?
We had just finished the morning show. Victoria and I were still working together. I remember I was extremely frustrated because we were like a brother and sister, and we would just go at each other after a certain amount of time. I went home that day, and I was like, This is it. I am done. And all of a sudden, I'm watching the TV, Good Morning America, and the second plane hit the tower. And I just stood up, walked out, went back to work, and sat there. We basically that day sat there watching, and it was kind of like, hopefully Nashville's not next. And again, back to Nate Bargatze, right, with the water company watching the towers. We're sitting there going,
Dude, that part is fun.
they got New York, they got Washington. Watch the LNC tower. That's next.
Yeah. Whew, that's a big one.
It was terrifying, though, right? Yeah, that's
I'm not sure a plane could tear through that tower.
if nothing has yet.
Yeah, it sounded very bad. But
Do you know that used to be a weather, like where people get their weather from, right?
really?
The LNC, Life and Casualty.
Yeah.
It used to, if it was lit up red, it meant warmer weather's coming.
Really?
If it was lit up blue, it meant colder weather's coming. But if the thing was throbbing or strobing or whatever, it would. Yeah, that was our first rim shot.
Oh,
It literally would tell people the weather. That
throbbing tower.
Throbbing.
You'll never look at the LNC again.
So what is?
Legit
Wait, I'm
opposite.
sorry. I totally glazed over what you said. What does the throbbing mean?
I don't know.
My mind was in a different place.
But it wasn't telling you the current conditions. It was telling you the forecast
You're
through
back
the
at
lights.
Christie's Cabaret right now. Oh God!
So many stories. So many stories.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So many stories. I'm not even going to mention any.
Oh
Oh, I did one little research and I had to ask you this question.
God.
So I know you have a side business and you own some Airbnbs.
Yes.
Really?
And you mentioned
He's
that
rich.
you find very questionable items left behind,
What'd you? Yeah.
but you didn't list any question. You got any good crazy shit that was left behind in your Airbnbs?
And
Yeah. I found stuff that would,
Thribums.
that.
Throbbing.
So when you find these things, you can't call the last guest up and ask, "Hey, did you leave a 45 in my Airbnb?" You just can't do that because it
We're
might
not
have been the
talking
person.
about records, kids.
Right. It might have been. It might have been the person before them. Right. So you can't So you have to sit there and wait and see if they call you up
Yeah.
to see.
I
if
left
they
my
have that.
45. I left my Colt 45.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I was tucking in. I was doing the beds and I was tucking in. I felt this lump and I thought it might have been something inappropriate. Another thing like.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going. And I pull it out, and it was a green leather bag, and I opened it up, and I was like, oh
boy.
no.
Was it a gun?
It was a gun.
Yeah.
It was loaded, ready to go.
Has anybody
ready to roll.
claimed it yet?
No, it was turned over to authorities.
Okay. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Okay.
Just don't ever.
How do you
Nashville Metro has that now, guys.
How do you
Get out
not-
there.
Don't ever make me mad, okay? Because they can't trace it.
Yeah.
How do you not be like, yo, I left my gun?
I don't know.
Well, you're not supposed to have a gun with you in the Airbnbs according to their bylaws. I wouldn't have cared. I mean,
I'd still call and be like, hey, I left my gun there.
right.
Yeah. Can I get it back?
Did you find anything really hard under my bed?
Wait,
In a green leather bag?
Wow. Was it vibrating?
Was it throbbing?
Wow.
No, but they have lots of you have bachelorette and bachelor parties in town,
Yeah.
and you know who's staying there, and then you're watching the Ring camera at night, and you're going, "Oh, that's not part of the group."
No.
Oh, and then you get to see the walk of shame the next
Yeah.
morning, like, "Oh,
Oh yeah,
Sure, that's some real entertainment right there.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have one of those Nashville memories that you don't want to remember.
Have you ever had like
ready for
a
us.
disaster you walked into? You're like, oh my God.
So one group left the first floor windows unlocked, and I probably got there 6 hours after they left to check things over. And I walk up into the main, it's 4 levels. So I walk on the main level and I'm looking around like something doesn't add up. And I was like, oh, there's no TV on the wall.
What?
I was like, they broke a TV and threw it out and didn't think I'd notice. And I called my maintenance man, Dan. I'm like, Dan, I need a new TV. And I tell him, and he comes over and he's like, hey, dude. He says, dude, you're missing all your TVs. Whoa. I didn't even bother to check the upstairs and the basement and all the other.
Wow.
They stole and I had another group coming in the next day. So I'm at Best Buy going, I need 5 65-inch TVs,
Holy
the
shit.
cheapest ones possible. And we spent the day hanging TVs back home. So police came over and
What the hell?
They dusted, but they dusted the wrong window. So it's not like we're going to get anywhere on that investigation.
Yeah.
But what they do, these thieves are smart, right? They look for an unlocked window that's out of reach of the Ring camera.
Yeah.
They go in and they don't cut lines. They just unplug your internet router so they know you don't have cameras. So you're blind.
Yeah.
You can't detect them. And they just mosey them out the front door.
Brilliant.
So I knew exactly the moment that they broke in by looking at my power on the Ring camera, and I knew exactly when it dropped off. I was like, oh yeah, 12:06.
6 hours.
There you go. Yeah.
I walked out of the. I had to go to the clerk's office in Williams County the other day, and I walked out. And it was just one of those moments that you go, "Oh, you have that. Oh God, what have I done?" So I look for my car, and I'm like, "Oh, there it is." So I go over to it, and I open it. I'm like, "Well, the door wasn't locked. That's weird." So I get in it, and I'm like, "Wow, my seat's up real far." This is a white car, black interior, Infiniti QX60, same year, everything. Exactly like mine. And I look around and I'm like, this is not my car. I'm sitting in this car. I'm like, I'm pushing the button, trying to, I'm like,
It's not working.
It was not my car. My car was 4 over. But I had that oh shit moment of I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a little
I called
freaky.
Jen and I'm like, I just got in the wrong car. I don't know. You think I'm in trouble? You know?
And then they got back and they're like, someone's been sitting in our car.
It smells like man in here.
Smells like a man. The seat's back now and all the buttons are pushed.
Yeah. But it's easy. It's like, wow, I don't remember parking there, but I guess I did. Dude, thank you for coming in here.
I had so much fun.
Hanging out with us.
Appreciate that. When do we start reading our text messages? I thought we were going to do that.
We're definitely not doing that. We're not definitely reading the
You know
ones
what?
from
That
me
might
and
be
Colt.
a good. What was it?
That's such a
the
segment.
censor,
Yeah.
unnecessary censored segment. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We
we're
need
going to read our
do
text
that.
messages, and it's just going to be like beep 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 beep
Yeah.
beep 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 beep.
Have
like
you
Morse
seen
code.
his beep?
I had more fun scheduling this by text message than actually doing it with you guys. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It got unhinged right out of the gate.
It's one of the funner we've done.
Well, I appreciate
Funner,
that. Yeah, I didn't expect to be talking about pooping.
No.
But we did. We got there. We went there.
We put some Band-Aids on our
put
nipples.
some-
We pooped ourselves mile 26. We have. Have you ever
Done a triathlon? I'm doing one in-
Wheel of Shame?
I have not.
Why we have it and we don't have video, I'll never know. Go ahead and spin
It's
that
all in
around
code.
there. It's
It
all
won't make
code.
sense to you.
Nothing. So it doesn't matter what I do.
No, it doesn't matter.
Does it
what you
do sound
land on.
effects?
Tick, tick, tick.
What it
Dragon's
land?
breath.
Ah, yes.
Are those
It's all in code.
are those shiitake mushrooms? Isn't that no?
Dragon's breath?
No, that's
It was dragon fruit.
It's clean.
What?
It's not clean. Everything's dirty. I forgot to clean everything.
Well, you're the worst.
What is
Spin it again.
Spin it again.
Spin it again?
It's been a while since we've done a podcast.
Yeah, everything's dirty.
Everything's dirty.
He doesn't clean. His wife hates him.
It's mesmerizing. Dragon's breath.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's one over. Truly, truth or dirty?
Truth or drink?
Truth or drink? Oh, get the drink.
Which is basically going to be the truth.
I don't see. Those are cards.
Pick a card, any card.
Don't look at it. Give it back to him. I'm going to do this for him. I'm eating ice. God, tastes so good. Uh-oh.
All right.
Neil Orne.
Yes. Colt.
Have you ever been in a public place and realized you were too drunk or high to be there?
I can say he has.
Next question. That was easy.
Yes.
Definitely has.
Why don't you
Tell
ask
us
me
about
where?
a time.
And
Tell us about a
we'll-
time you lied to your parents, and did they find out?
Well, my folks used to have a pretty good social calendar, and she had three boys. My parents had 3 boys and a girl, and we used to go into the liquor cabinet, and little something for us, then fill it up with water.
Yeah, it's always a great idea.
Yeah. So it was the Super Bowl party where absolutely no one got a buzz at all. When my dad started drinking the stuff straight and figured out that the vodka was straight water.
Yeah.
And that was
It was a good day, huh?
It was a really good day.
It's a
actually,
really
it was
good day here in-
really good day
In Maine.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, what we like to have you do.
Go,
Colt, you want to?
Yes, Neil. So what I have here is a bottle of the Atomic Rhino smelling salts.
Rhino.
Have you ever done these before?
No.
Okay. Oh, you're about to.
So this is part of our Twang Town
Your
initiation,
buddy.
Everybody
does it.
Okay.
and it's part
Did
of the
Breezy do
part
it?
of the gig.
Yep.
Yeah.
Breezy did it.
Okay.
Like a champ, too. You can do whatever you want to with the water.
The water's not going to help you.
It's not going to help you.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to hand it to you. You're going to hold it right here and go.
That's it. That's all
We,
you
need,
gotta
we
do.
need a proper man sniff. Don't wuss out.
Don't
on
be a
us,
wuss.
all right?
Breezy sniffed like
He's
a
giving me a
real
look.
woman. You got in there, son.
It's like ammonia. Right on up to like the 3 brain cells I have left are gone.
You did that strong.
Wow, you guys suck. I hate this place. Don't come near 25 Music Square West.
Oh, dude.
You did it like a champ.
Thank you so much for
Now
being
you're ready
here.
to run that marathon.
We love you.
Triathlon, Colt.
Triathlon.
We love you.
It's in
We wish
Galveston
you the
Island.
best.
Love
April
you guys
6th.
too. Thank you
Get your
very much.
tickets.
I appreciate that.
We hope you win and don't poop your pants.
I'll take one of the 2.
No.
Okay.
Come back and talk to us again.
You know
yo.
which one I'll take. I
know.
won't win.
Yeah.
I won't win.
But I
I'll come
want-
back anytime you want. I have a lot of free time right now.
I'll see you at the gym tomorrow.
See you there.
Colt, tell them what they need to do.
Yes, we are available on all streaming platforms.
All
you
streaming.
can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
like,
Rate, like, subscribe, follow.
Subscribe, donate. Give us money.
Give 'em, monetize this for
We
these guys.
should. We should. Today's episode brought to you by
Whatever that rhino smack.
Atomic Rhino
Rhino.
smelling salts.
if you're going to run a marathon and shit your pants, get some Atomic Rhino first.
Make sure,
that
it
will
really,
help.
make sure it really fires out of there with some Atomic Rhino.
Fire up all your holes with the Atomic Rhino.
Smell that stuff all day.
Wow.
Dude, thanks again for coming on.
thank
We
you, Neil.
appreciate you.
See you
appreciate
tomorrow,
it.
kids.
See you.
Bye, everybody.